Hello, this is my new channel of physics, and today I will start my first video. And the first topic that I will talk about is about heat. Okay, I will explain you a little bit of what is this topic. According to kinetic theory, the existence of heat is due to a kinetic energy present in individual particles, whether they be molecules, atoms, or subatomic particles that make up them. That is the heat. That is why heat is energy that takes the form of the movement or vibrations in particles of matter. The hotter a substance is, the faster the particles that make up the substance are moving or vibrating. That means that, for example, if it is a bowl with water, if you're boiling it, the particles that contain the water will move very faster, making the heat, producing the heat, and make it, when you touch it, that is, you feel it very hot. The heat can be applied to three different things: the states of matter, that are solid, liquid, and gas. Another definition is that heat is a form of energy that exists as motion in particles of matter. The more heat, the more motion. So the three ways in which the heat can be transferred is by thermal conduction, electromagnetism, and radiation. These are the most, the ways in which heat can be transmitted, because radiation can be a heat that the sun radiates to us. Electromagnetism, when you like rub two different things and you feel like they are very hot, or when you rub when a different type of cloth, you feel it that is feeling very hot. And also thermal conduction, that is normal by an object that has heat transferred by touching it to another object. And the unit to measure heat is called joules. So now I will show you an example of how you can apply heat in the real life. Okay, here I have an example of how we can apply heat in the real life. Okay, the example says, find the energy required to heat 250 grams of water from 20 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. Okay, they said us that the water has a specific heat of 4.18 joules grams degrees Celsius. So for solve this problem and to apply the heat in real life, we can use the formula of heat. That is Q, that is equal, that means that is heat, equal to mass times the specific heat times the change in temperature. Okay, now we have to identify the values. First, we know that the mass of the thing that we want to heat is the water, so it is 250 grams. So water means that the mass is 250 grams. Now we need to get the change in temperature. We know that to get the change in temperature, we need to make a subtraction. That is the final temperature minus the initial temperature. So in this case, the initial temperature is 80 degrees Celsius, and the initial temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. So the thing that we need to do is to make a subtraction between 80 and 20. That this means that is 60, because 80 minus 20 is 60. So the change in temperature, we know that is 60 degrees Celsius. Finally, we already get the specific heat, or most specific, that of the water, because it's the liquid that we are working with. So finally, we just replace all the values in the formula. So we know the mass, that is 250 grams. The specific heat, that is 4.18 joules grams degrees Celsius. And finally, the change in temperature, that is 60 degrees. And finally, to get the amount of heat that we require to make the transfer of heat is 62,700 joules to find the energy required to get the amount of heat required to get 250 grams of water. So this is a good example of how we use heat in real life, and I hope you understand it a little bit. Thank you for your attention.